that both MMR and climate science denial began not in the outer reaches of the internet. It's tempting sometimes to think that the current madness is all linked to Facebook algorithms and dodgy Russian missions and various other manipulations. But long before social media sought to attribute equal value to your wrong opinions and my fact-based evidence, long before it turned everything upside down, these two issues from which, for my money, so much stems. I've told you this before. I'm not going to apologise for repeating myself, because it's fair to say that the lessons of MMR vaccines and climate science denial have not yet been fully learned, and we're seeing them being reprised now in an almost identical fashion to what went before. We are seeing reputable organs, publishing people, almost all elderly men, claiming that face coverings are... I mean, I thought yesterday when people told me that the word muzzles had entered common parlance, I actually thought you were joking, or that you'd got it off your Auntie Doris's Facebook page. But no, Quentin Letts, writing in the Times, used the word muzzles to describe face coverings, to describe a bandana around your gob. And it reminded me that the Daily Mail back in the day was a huge problem with regard to making parents suspicious of the MMR vaccine. And climate science denial has been a very lucrative grift for all manner of chancers and fact-free charlatans for the best part of 3 decades now. And when we were talking about Brexit, and I'm so relieved in a way now that we can all talk about Brexit from the point of view of it being disastrous. You know, I fully sympathise with you believing the people that told you there'd be no lorry park on the M20, or there'd be no border checks, or there'd be no need for new customs posts or any of that. I've got no beef with you if you believed it. But now that you know you were lied to, we can at least start to have grown-up conversations again, instead of stupid mudslinging exchanges of "you lost, get over it," or "stop calling me racist" and all that malarkey. Now you know you were sold a complete pup. We can all just cross our fingers and hope that the puppishness is not as acute as it could be, and that we can join together to do a bit of damage limitation. But when we were talking about Brexit and the way in which things that were obviously untrue were treated with equality and equivalence and balance, all the way up to the top of the BBC, you remember my moment was when I had Andrea Leadsom sitting to one side of me and Pascal Lamy, the former Director General of the World Trade Organization, sitting on the other side of me, and I was required by BBC impartiality rules to treat them as equal contributors to a conversation about what the WTO involved. Andrea Leadsom, you win some, you led some. Pascal Lamy, former Director General of the WTO. Oh, so, okay, thank you, Monsieur Lamy, for your insights into what the World Trade Organization is and does, speaking as a former Director General. Now, Andrea Leadsom, speaking as a mother, what do you think the WTO represents and regulate? I mean, a genuine moment of madness in my own head where I thought, this can't be right. This just can't be right. And Brexit, of course, wasn't science. Climate change and MMR were. And still people persist in believing that their Auntie Doris on Facebook is a greater authority, or, sadly, Quentin Letts is a greater authority on virology than science.